Guys, which of those four, Mahomes, Brady, Allen, and Rodgers, are we most excited to see this week, this season rather? Who will be most captivating to watch? Where do you want to go with this?
I want to do the Rodgers as a storyline as the most captivating. And Kyle, I watched the match. I did. 6:30 Eastern. There was no NBA. There was no NHL on. We're off from Good Morning Football. I'm like, I'm going to watch this thing. Josh Allen was funny. Brady was engaged and hilarious. Mahomes was clever, drinking beers. Rodgers didn't talk. And I'm not overanalyzing this, but he won the game-winning putt, and that was cool. But it didn't look like Rodgers was particularly yucking it up or having a ball. And I'm like, does he want to be there? Because if he doesn't, Stafford would have been fun. I think there's a bunch of different, Fitzpatrick would have been a hoot. There's a lot of quarterbacks who would have been all right, Rodgers was so dialed in on this golf or was not happy to be. I don't know what it was. He wasn't smiling. He was just hold a hole. And I'm like, if I'm analyzing him on a golf course this way, I cannot wait to analyze him week to week to week without Davante Adams on his side. I have no idea what's going to go down this year. They are a really good team. He got paid. He's making 50. You want to talk about what it is? 43 with bonus, 44. He's making 50. And because he's making 50, there's not enough pie to go around for Adams to make 30. That's the end of the day when we look at this thing. They could have tried to make it work. They would have no other players in any of their spots. It's not blasphemy to say, there was probably not a chance they could make a combined $90 million and have a football team. So now you don't have Davante Adams. You got two rookies in Watson and Dubs that people seem to like, right? Okay, they're rookies. Lazard, maybe the best blocking receiver in the league. Is he a great Sammy Watkins? Amari Rodgers? I am fascinated because it wasn't just Davante. Valdez-Scantling's no longer there. There are other guys who have left on this team. And I'm curious because, again, I'm overanalyzing everything. It's what I do. I consider myself part reporter, part gossip columnist, part just a fan of the game. And Rodgers wasn't doing the busting chops. Rodgers wasn't doing the let's tweet about this thing. Rodgers was like, I'm going to win this golf tournament. And they did, but I don't know if he missed the memo that this was kind of entertaining. Because years prior, he was hilarious. I don't know what state of mind he's in right now, and I'm not sure what state of mind he's going to be for 18 weeks, but we're in June, and I'm already excited to follow Rodgers.
You know what, Peter? I'm going to stick with Rodgers as well. The biggest thing to me was that last hole, right? I didn't watch the whole thing. I caught it at the end, and that's all he had to go. And 2 shots, game over. And to me, it was that mindset. I coach little kids, and I coach high school kids, and I always tell them, you have to be you all the time. And that's what's scariest about this moment. With or without Davante Adams, I just think Rodgers is going to be so on point this year that it's going to be one of those things where you're just ooh, Green Bay, 1 seed again. I mean, he's done it. He's done it. This is who he is, right? Everyone else is having a good time. Everyone else is out there, being, engaging and drinking beer and chucking it up, and he's there to win. And to me, that's just who he is. And I know as some of our viewers, they're like, hey, even I was kind of he's not really talking, but at the end, you got that fist pump, and I bet you he was ready to do the discount double check. At the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers is a winner, and he has that closer's mentality, and he has that finisher's mentality, and he's going to keep his foot on your neck. And that's what I think is scary about Green Bay, because you just don't know what's going to happen now because they lost Davante Adams.
For me, guys, it is not Aaron Rodgers. It is Patrick Mahomes. Watching him felt like it was watching Us Weekly stars like us. Chugging beer, just like us. Trash-talking teammates, just like us. It seemed like for me the golf was secondary and it was more about the interactions between Mahomes and everybody else. To me, he's the most captivating because now he plays in the toughest division in football. So he has to step up his game. All the while, now he's got Matt Nagy, who's back in Kansas City. So how is he going to navigate the relationship between Nagy, Bieniemy, and himself? The other thing is, 45% of his completions since he's been a starter have been to Tyreek Hill and to Travis Kelce. And recently, Mahomes worked out with all these new faces. Juju Smith-Schuster, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Sky Moore, who they just drafted. Also, Justin Ross, who they just signed, who could end up being a steal. either way, he said in this offense, it isn't going to be just one person. It's going to be several people who are going to be getting the ball here. Everybody is going to eat. And Mahomes is a master when it comes to that offense and running it to perfection. And so I don't think that Tyreek Hill leaving is going to be as big of a difference as we think, because Mahomes is such a generational talent, and I think he can more than make up with it with the guys that he has on there. So to me, I would have to say the most captivating guy that I can't wait to see how he does is Patrick Mahomes and how he deals with all those much tougher teams, Kyle, in division.
I always love the stars. They're just like us. A picture of January Jones throwing away a bottle. It's like, they recycle. They're just like us. Take my money, Us Weekly. I love it. Like I'm going to weigh in on the Rodgers thing that scud that Peter launched at the beginning. Peter know how to make content. A couple of theories on that. One, if Rodgers wasn't as chatty or as joking as the other guys, I don't think Rodgers was out there with his friends. I can only say what I see, but let's just say of that foursome, I think he likes Josh Allen a lot. Also, I don't think he was out there with an entire list of jokes and jabs that was written and produced for him, like maybe one of the other guys out there. So maybe that's the theory, and I just think he really wants to win. So a couple of theories there. Do with those what you will. There's another one. I remember when in the movie Seven, okay? Very heavy, dark movie, but people love it. And Brad Pitt, they're trying to chase this crazy serial killer, and he says to Morgan Freeman, if we catch John Doe, and he turns out to be the devil, I mean, he's Satan himself, it might live up to our expectations. When I look at Josh Allen this year, if he turns out to be God himself on the football field and literally walks across water on the way to 70 touchdowns, it might live up to our expectations. That's where I'm going with this. I want to watch Josh Allen this year to see if the full powers are realized. Did he have an incredible playoff game against New England? It was sort of a one-off, and then he takes a step back, and is just a really good quarterback, but not some sort of football deity? Maybe. Or did we really get a taste of the full experience, and that a Bill Belichick defense could do nothing to even stay in his way, and we have realized the perfect weapon of size, arm strength, speed, and mental acuity? Is he really like the ultimate package of all time that we have ever seen? That's the kind of potential and ceiling we're talking about with Josh Allen. The most gifted quarterback maybe in league history. Are we going to get that this year? That is enticing alone enough to me. Of course, the Bills is going to be, can they get to the Super Bowl? Can they do this? Can they do that? But simply tuning in. By the way, week 1 against the Rams, a game that the Bills could easily lose, and all of a sudden, the sky is falling. I just want to see the full potential of Josh Allen, the fully realized powers. We've seen it with Mahomes, I think. We watched Brady for years. Rodgers. Josh Allen is giving us this thing about you ain't seen nothing yet, and that's reason alone enough to tune in. Sorry, the 7 reference, kind of dated, but I know you guys get it. That's Good Morning Football's 8A block, guys. We are going to move on now, unless Peter had his hand up. Peter, do you have anything you want to add?
I would add this. I didn't have my hand up. That's for the home shows, for people at home. Like, while the other person's talking in that full screen, there's 3 of us like, I want to talk. And a producer, in our case, Jeff Wheatley, is like, Peter, go. So let's pretend I did. Brady wasn't mentioned. I think we all expect Brady to have this like storybook season and either compete for a Super Bowl. Like, my only thing with Brady is that Bucs team, are we sure they're going to improve with a new head coach? Are we sure they're going to... Like, Brady went out pretty good losing to the Rams, but having that great comeback, and it's like, hey, the better team won, but Brady's got 7 rings, and our last memories of him were Brady, almost beating the Rams. Is there a chance that like the Bucs go 8-9 and the Bucs go 7-10, miss the playoffs, and it's like, oh, now what? I just find the Brady situation interesting if the Bucs aren't as good a team as everyone expects them to be.
It is, because if they go 8-9 and don't make the playoffs, does Brady say, no, I can't go out like that. I got to do another year, maybe with a new team? I think the ending is really important to him. And he had it. He won the Super Bowl a couple years ago, wanted to come back.